Okay, so we're gonna probably start with a pencil, and then a banana. Really, they're the same object, same basic idea. It's just kind of cool. Really, what we're going to use is we'll use the circle tool, the circle object that was kind of useless in our first week, and then we will bridge edge loops. What really is useful about bridging edge loops is um, getting shapes that wouldn't ordinarily look like they would go together to line up, as long as they have the same number of vertices. I'm just going to get rid of all this jazz here, planes, and we'll just start with an empty thing. So I'm going to make a add mesh. We'll do a circle, and we want to pay attention, especially here, with what we're going to be doing as far as vertices. So I want to go down to. We'll start with a pencil. So we want a 6 vertex circle. We'll leave it at a meter just because it's easier to see. And then we're just going to have a massive, massive pencil that we'll have to scale down later. So we'll start with that guy. And I'm going to go to edit mode here on this circle that's not a circle. And what we're going to want this to do is to blend nicely into an actual circle. So we're going to add vertices here. So I'm going to edit mode. I'm going to go to vertex. You just hit 1, hit A to get all the vertices. And then I'm going to first turn on my screencast keys. There we go. So start over. Tab to get to edit mode, 1 to get to vertices, A to get all of them. And then I'm going to do Control B to bevel. And we'll just pull and let that happen. So we want it to bevel vertices. And I want to hit on clamp override here, clamp overlap, so it doesn't invert on itself. And then I'm going to up the number here. Really need to move that. It's in my way. What point? Here we go. I'm trying to get a small number in here, 0.025. There we go. So I just want to add vertices at those corners, but keep them pretty distinct. So now I've got, looks like 5 at each of the 6 corners. So that's going to be a total of 30. And I set that distance at 0.25 meters, number of segments to 4. And so I just wanted more vertices so I can blend to a nicer circle later. So we end up with 5 times 6 is 30 vertices. And then just to be sure, I'm going to do that again. Go to vertex mode, hit A, and I can see, yes, I've got 30 vertices here. That's what I expected. So tab out of that. I'm going to make another circle. So I'm going to add a circle. And here, just to be sure, I'm going to set this to 30 vertices. So we got something nice and round with the same amount of vertices that we can blend to. So that's really the start of what I need. And I'm just going to keep using these and moving them around and scaling them. So we'll say this is the bottom of the pencil, this other guy here before it turns into the point. So I'm going to take my circle here. I'll pull it down. Well, I'm going to actually pull this one up here. I'll make a copy of this. So Shift D and then escape. I'll pull this down. So I've got that other one at full size. And I will scale it. So we'll come down to a point here. We can move these later, but that's about what I think I need. So I've got a 30-point circle down here, really small. I've got this guy here. Going to keep moving things up and around. So I'm going to take this one and just copy it. So again, Shift D, escape, and then I'm going to pull it up on the Z to about there. And then using this circle, I'm going to come down close to it. We're going to get some weirdness, but this is where the pencil is going to go out to like the rounded top. So copy that, pull that up. That's the metal part holding it all together. I'll do another copy. Just a hair, and I'm going to scale it down to where the base of the eraser is going to start. This from the top. Yeah, that's about right. I'll make one more copy. Come up about the height of that. We can add a lot more edges and vertices later, but this is just using the simple circles to start to figure out where we want our pencil to be. So I'm going to grab them all. So all my little circles here, and I'm going to use Control J to join them. So now they're one object. We'll even name it pencil. I'm going to go to edit mode. I'm going to go to edges here, or you can hit 2 to hit edges. And then if I hold down Alt and click on this top guy, I get the whole edge loop. I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to hold down Shift and then Alt and grab this edge loop here. Will this work? No, it didn't work. All right. Then I'm going to go to Edge and then Bridge Edge Loops. Filling that in. Select and do the same thing. Alt, click that. Shift and Alt and click this. And then I think it was, I'm going to use a shortcut. So Control E and then L. Yeah. Is the shortcut, and then I just bridge those edge loops, and I'm just going to keep working my way down the pencil. Alt, Shift Alt, Control E, L. Which is okay. I mean, we could have done this with extrusions on a cylinder, but the magic, the tough part is what we're doing next, which is going from one shape to another. So I've got this edge loop selected, Shift Alt, get that group selected, Control E and L, and you can see where, since it had the same number of vertices, it did give us some fairly clean geometry as it transitioned from one shape to another. Depending on the version of Blender you're using, I've had it in the past where it would not bridge edge loops if it had different number of vertices on each loop. And then, which was kind of nice. It kept us from hurting ourselves, I guess. And then other times where it would let you, and it just, good luck with the results. Didn't look pretty, but it worked. Go all the way down now, Alt and Shift, and click this group, Control EL, and there's our pencil. Now we're going to reverse that. So I've got this edge loop selected, Alt and Shift. Grab the one at the very end, and then we're going to go back again. So Control E and L. Right, that's not what I wanted. All right, I'm going to do something else. I want this transition to happen a lot faster. So I'm going to undo this. I'm still in edit mode, so I should be able to just add another circle to this. Got that. Just the new circle, which apparently connected itself somehow to what I had. Okay, undo that. Going backwards. So weird. All right. Alt. I'm going to move this up just a little bit off the origin. Okay. Got nothing selected. Add, circle. There we go. Oh, somehow I got proportional editing on. That's what happened. So that's why I was snapping that. All right, I'm going to go to top mode here. Hit the Z. I just want to scale this circle in just a little bit. So it's just smaller than that bit that I'm working on. Go from the bottom. So I want it just inside there. And then I'll bridge here. And this will be the part that looks weird. And then we'll get a nice smoother bridge to the point. So Alt and Shift. And then again, bridge edge loops. There we go. Then we can take that, we can make it a really, really fine point. So if I just grab all of these, I can extrude it some more and kind of work on getting a rounded point. Or if you want this to be a murder weapon, the pointiest of points, with all of those selected, say go, so go to vertex mode. Alt select, control click, it's not working. We'll try it with these. So I'm going to go to mesh, merge, at center, and I took all those edges and made one vertex point. How realistic is that? Have a razor sharp point on your pencil? Probably not very. So what I'll probably want to do is just extrude that. I hate that. Just kind of going wherever. So extrude it a little bit. Scale it a little bit. Extrude it again. Scale it again. We're just going to get that rounded point that we kind of expect. Maybe one more. Down. And F to fill it in. So now we've got the rounded point because we've been doing lots of homework. All right, it's a chunky pencil, but it's a pencil, sort of. Right click and shade auto smooth. Maybe set that to like 45. What's going to look best on this? Oh, we need to cap the top still too. I mean, unless you're just using it to sneak stuff in class, I don't know.
You don't?
I don't have to anymore. So I grab that top edge, and first I'll just cap it, and then I'll just bevel it instead of doing the. So Control B. And then as you're going up and down with your mouse, if you use your scroll wheel, you can add segments that way. Something like that. There we go. So made a pencil. We could have done this with extruding a lot of cylinders, but using the circle tool for something, and then showing that the bridge edge loops really works out kind of well, as long as we have the same number of vertices. So we got a pencil. Why do we need a pencil with our fruit bowl? I don't know. So we can write on the fruit. This is my banana. Don't touch it. I don't know. Color that up. Throw it in your scene. Let's just unhide this stuff. Let's see how badly we did. Yeah, that pencil's a little large. It's encompassing the entire table. Scale that way down. Let's try 0.1. Too small now. It's a little baby pencil. So let's scale it up some. By the way, my whole scene is out of whack. I don't know if you saw the little video I posted to Discord. I brought these apples as they are scaled into VR, and they're like basically almost watermelon size, definitely like big cantaloupe size. These apples were huge. So
Did they at least taste good?
I didn't write that. I was throwing them around, but I didn't eat them. Huh? Scaling's kind of a big deal. Like, just gonna rotate on the X by 90 so we can lay it down. Snaps on. Pop that onto the table. Again, why? I don't know. It's just there. There's a pencil on the table because we're doing homework. I think that's what we decided last time. That's why there's a pencil. Make a white plane for your paper, and then it fits the whole thing. All right, we got that named. Grab these. So apple, bowl, pencil. Yeah. Plain tabletop. I'm going to grab all of these things. I'm going to make a new collection out of that. Drag them into the new collection. Call it finished. So I can just hide the whole collection when I need to make new stuff. All right, back in the first collection. We're going to try that again. Let's hope that the internet filters are on. Anyone bring a banana with them? You have a banana from Chick-fil-A? He's got a Chick-fil-A bag. That was just, yeah. I think we get away with 5 segments around, right? It's not quite 6. It's not like a pencil. I think it's 5. Oh, and of course it goes to Amazon. All right, cool. You buy bananas from the Amazon? I don't know. I don't know where they grow them. I'm baffled. What? Billionaire bought $6 million fruit at art auction. This is. No, because if I did, I would have $6 million.
Yeah, and now it's in that Super Bowl commercial with Chris Pratt and Chris Hemsworth about the metaverse.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
What's the appeal? Someone had to do that one. Of course they did.
It was just like an experiment to see like if people would discern the food.
Why are billionaires dumb? I guess. It is. It is. Okay. So we're gonna guess like 5. I don't have a fake organic banana, or you can buy it for $6, or we can just make our own. I don't know what's happening here. Display fake foods. Oh, so someone modeled it and 3D printed it. All right, got him. Okay, we're gonna go back to Blender and we'll try that nonsense again. So I'm gonna add a circle. This time I'm gonna pull it down to 5. Yeah, it looks like it might be a banana someday. It's older, grows up a little bit. Okay, we'll use that as our start. Same deal, I'm gonna hit tab, 1 to go to vertices, A to select them all, Control B to bevel, and then fight with my screencast keys being over the top of this. So we want this at like 0.02. What am I looking at here? Where are they at? Okay, screencast keys is moving up. You're in my way. There we go. Nice. Bevel vertices. We're going to be a little bit round, so we pull that like so. 0.08-ish. 0.07. Again, got it at 4 segments, which ends up at 5 on each point. Now we're 5 by 5, so that's 25 vertices. I hit A. Yeah. So when we go to circles, we'll have 25 of these. So tab, back in object mode, make a copy, and I'll just move this up for now. About yay far. Come down here. Shift D, and then escape to make another copy. And this will just be like the bottom of the banana. Scale that way down. I think the bottom just kind of follows the same shape. Sure. And at the top is where it gets goofy. Yeah, a little bit, because we go into like a rounder stem. So that's the whole point here. So I'm going to do another copy. Pull up, S to scale. We'll come in a bit. And I'm just going to make a new circle. So add mesh. Circle. And we'll pull this guy up. He needs to be at 25 vertices to match what we're doing here. Pull it in, pull it down, and I'm just stacking these for now. We'll get some curve and some stuff to it in a bit. Scale that in more. It's very similar to what we did with the pencil. All right, we'll leave that as it is. And I'm going to make a copy. Come up some. Scale it up some. And then we'll kind of rotate it on the X, make it a little jaunty. Maybe rotate it on the Y just a bit. Since we're all organic. No, never rotate on the Z. No, I just didn't do it. I said, do what you need to do. Do it. Do it, Doctor Who. All right. And they don't always, so I'm going to take these bottom parts here. pull them over, and then rotate on the X just a bit, and then we'll see what happens. So now I've got this. So from the top, it looks like that. All this stuff at the top, which is kind of going straight down, and then we've got whatever's going on at the bottom. I might just scale, though, a little bit, and then we'll try it. So first, we got to join them all, so I'm going to grab all my circles. And Control J. Tab to edit mode, 2 for edges. Alt click and try and get the bottom. We're doing the same thing we did before, so I'm just going to hit Shift and Alt, grab this edge loop. And again, I'm going to jump to shortcuts in a minute, but if you want to use the menu, it's Edge and Bridge Edge Loops. So it kind of fills that in. We'll come and cap that later. And then this next part is going to be the wildest part. So I'm going to grab that, and then Shift and Alt, and grab the corresponding one on top. And now when I Control EL to bridge edge loops, by default I get one cut, or 0 cuts here, one segment, and I'm just going to up the number there, and that's going to add our kind of our slope to the banana. You can also do the twist, which is don't eat that banana. Don't. There's something wrong with that. But if you're bridging edge loops and you want to use the twist, you can. We'll go to 4, and then we can move those around a little bit. Okay. And finish it up. Bridge those. And maybe increase the number of cuts there. Alt select, Shift Alt select. Just adding extra cuts on a lot of these because I want to clean them up later. Alt, grab that loop. Shift Alt, grab that loop. Control E, L, and I'm going to add more cuts here. Two, three. We might want to scale that whole thing down because that is a chunky stem. So we'll have to do some scaling, some capping, some other things. F to cap that. Yeah, careful with that soft select. It'll get you. F to cap that. Okay, so now I'm going to actually turn soft select on purpose. Grab this bunch down here, and I'm going to scale it. Where's my... Oh, because I'm working at such large numbers, yeah, my proportional size needed to go way up. Just undo that for a minute. Okay, I'm going to shrink this banana down to the size we need for our room, and that'll make it editing it a little more easy. And again with the clapping, I always feel like we're like missing out on an award show when we're in here, when you're clapping across the hall. We can clean this up. It can be saved, I promise. Right now it's the derpiest looking banana ever. Still too much, yeah. Okay, we're about the right size. I'll hide these guys. Hit Control A to apply scale. Let's see if I can fix this monstrosity. That's a little better. Come down to more of a point. Do the same up here. Scale that a bit. It's a little closer. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly a banana can become a chunky pepper. This is true. Yeah, we're breaking new ground here, really. Yeah, the whole what's fruit and what isn't is I'm confused. Fair. I'm just grabbing random edge loops and then playing with my scroll wheel on the proportional editing to sort of make it look better. And then accidentally undoing everything. Here we go. The other thing we can do is just grab edge loops and then Control B to bevel and start to round a lot of these extra things out. That. Bevel that in some. It just needs to come down more. So I'm going to change this, my movement tool from global to maybe normal. Yeah. And then I can just pull that bit of the banana down. Becomes even trickier with my proportional editing on. There we go. And now I'm going to bevel that. And I guess I'll bevel this. You know what I think is wrong is it's still too straight. Rotate this guy out a little bit. Without breaking it. Either fixed it or made it look horrible. Nope, it's horrible now. Perfect. Anyway, play with that. Get a rough banana shape. Undo that. That was horrible. And then for the banana, I would suggest doing what we did with the apple, and I'll just do that here in a minute, is we'll just use the texture paint to yes, to paint the texture, as it turns out. All of these and bevel them just a bit. Because we're not going to VR with these. Yeah. I just assume they're clapping for us over there. That's what's happening. Smoother. Remember to hit Control S anytime you think of it, or risk losing everything. Or at least the last 30 minutes, yeah. I did manage to crash Blender a few times yesterday and experience the pain of, oh shoot, when did I save last? Luckily, I only lost a couple of minutes of work, but, you know, these are the risks we take. This is still looking weird when we're back in object mode. We've got some weird creasing going on right there. Let me try something. I'm going to Alt, grab that whole thing there. Can I smooth those vertices? Yeah. So I grabbed that whole edge loop and said smooth, and it kind of like moved it up and relaxed it a little bit. Nice, and now we don't have as many creases. Fun. This should probably be a little more jagged than the smooth bevel on the top. So I'm going to grab this face right here. And I'll show you another little thing hidden in our menu. So under face, you can poke anyone in the face. I mean, you can poke a face. That just puts a vertex in the middle going out to all the other edges. So if you do that with a square face, you end up with like a little diamond looking thing. And I'm gonna hit Control Plus and grab more of these edges, and I'm gonna try something totally random and awful. And I'm gonna hit Transform and Randomize. Don't randomize that much. Yeah. If we pull that way down, just come on, you got to find the sweet spot, 0.001. But you can see like it just jaggies everything up a little bit. Do that with the whole top, I think. So I'm gonna undo that, and then Control plus, get all of these, and now let me try it. So Mesh, Transform, Randomize, 0.001. It just messes it up a little bit. Just gives it that random look. This is what we were going to try way back on the treasure chest with some of our gold bricks, but then we just didn't do it. 0.001. Oh, 5. So it's less. And it adds some creases, but it gets rid of that like too perfect, too smooth thing that's going on there. I'm gonna pull this one in, but oh, turn off proportional editing, turn off snapping. Just gonna pull that down. A little more. There we go. Just so we can start to get that. Just to mess the top up, make it look like someone actually ripped this off of a bunch. Okay. Clean this up, so I'm gonna hit Control A and apply the scale. I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna say set the origin to geometry so that it's being grabbed at the middle here and not at the top. So just picks the middle. Now it's just easier to work with. Let me just unhide my finished. That might be still too big. Also, why is it jamming right into that apple? Yeah, that's kind of a big banana. Scale it down a little bit. Kind of looks like it goes with our apple. Control A again and apply that scale. And now we're just going to drop it in. R, X, pull it back. Maybe the hardest part of this assignment is positioning the fruit. If your laptops weren't already crying at you for rendering donut animations, we could do a physics simulation of dropping the fruit into the bowl. In theory. Hang on to your fruit bowls. We may do that later. It's just kind of there. Whatever. Still a small pencil. It's fine. All right, I'll hide that. And the last thing left to do is we should paint this guy. So I'm going to come over to texture paint. And we got to give this thing called circle that we should rename banana a new material. Make sure that the base color here is going to be an image texture, and then we'll say new. Call it banana texture. 1024. I'm going to go 2048. We can start with a base color. Let's go ahead and make it yellow. Find a nice yellow that doesn't scream radioactive banana. There we go, something like that. New image. All right, so let me hit this. I'm going to try the banana texture. Make sure it's on there. There we go. So here we've got our yellow base that we started with. Makes life easier. Let me check my UV editing before we go back there. So this guy, hit A, U, try the Smart UV Project. It's a little weird. Let me just try it one more time. I'm going to give it more spacing. Limit, island margin. There we go. So I'm just going to up this margin to like 0.1. And that just spaces things out more so we don't overlap our stuff. Huh? All right. I'll show you again. So I'm unwrapping the banana. Peeling it, you might say. I've selected everything in my UV. I'm hitting U to unwrap, and then the Smart UV Project. And so when I give this island margin a number greater than 0, that spaces out the sections. All right, so let me just try. I'll do 0.15 here. You see, just moving things farther apart. So I was noticing I had a problem when I was trying to paint the apple, like where the UVs were too close to each other. I was getting like artifacts and smudging. So space that out. That should make life a little easier when we go back to texture paint. So that's good. It's yellow. Come back to texture paint. And I can paint directly on the UV image, or I can paint on the banana itself. Airbrush is good. There's airbrush, blur, all this other stuff. Paint soft. Paint soft might work. I'm going to keep it with airbrush. And then I'll just grab kind of a greener color. Yeah, something like that. Maybe a touch darker. And then my strength, I'll do it like 0.5. Radius is at 8. Jump that to 16. And we'll just see what happens. So start painting. Probably want a little bit larger. So I'm going to try and do most of the stem to be that green. So I'm going to crank my radius to 64 and just start. There we go. I can repaint that yellow in or smudge that in better. Now I'm going to change this to more of a brown. Pull the strength down even more to like 0.25. Just kind of on there. A bit of brown there. I'm just going to do a little bit along the edges here. Nope, don't like that. Back to 32. Put the strength down to 0.1. We're just trying to highlight. I can do it over here. Let me just try it over here. Following that line. I don't know how these are going to end up. Probably terrible. Yeah, some of it's kind of gross. You can clean it up, but just airbrushing new colors in kind of gives it a little more reality. And then we can come in and use the eyedropper tool to get back to our original yellow color and clean it up. Just use the original yellow to cover up some of our oopsies. Probably not. Based on the peel, I might not. You know what I might do? I might just make a banana split out of this, though. That part wouldn't hurt my feelings. That looks, yeah, that's more like it's going to be banana bread. That's what you do with a banana that rotten.
It looks like trash, actually.
It does, which is perfect. Yeah.
It's like one of the, it's just part of having a bit of, it's just, they just end up with that.
A little green down there. Yeah, it's going to be a banana split. All right. Here's the part I kept forgetting to do when I was working on my apple. Even if it's only halfway what you like, save it. So over here in the texture painting, go to Image, Save. And by default, it's just some data block in the Blender file. So I'm going to save this. This is the wrong, no, it is the right one. There we go. Some of the fruit bowl textures. Save it as banana texture right here. Now it exists. And then just keep saving it as you make changes to it. Otherwise, it's like rendering your donuts and then Blender crashes and you got to start over. Too soon? A little bit, okay.
I just, for me, the issue I had is I accidentally had the setting on to where my computer would like go to sleep after a few minutes.
Oh yeah, that'll cause you some heartache. So now my banana is not fitting in the scene. So I'm going to grab my camera and I'm going to go to local and then just pull it up. So we're maintaining the angle. There it is. I'm going to come down just a little bit so you can get the bottom of the bowl and the banana. Close enough. Also, we should do something with that pencil. That white pencil looks awful.
It's just chalk now.
It's just, yeah, it's a well-formed piece of chalk. Either way, some homework was being done. Hey, you know what? If you ever pause long enough to complete a sentence, hit Control S. Maybe a couple times. Just, we're all learning from each other's lessons. Yes, that's what we're going to go with. Some of us learn things the hard way. Yeah. Some of us just imagine even gods like, "Oh, again with this?" Like, all right, save it again. Why not? Let's go check this out. So we want lots of, oh, by the way, here's the hex color for ACU purple if you ever need that. You need a purple banana. There's the official ACU version. So we're going to look for, we want to render by the time we're done. So 1920 by 1080, kind of our 2K-ish looking render. Is that a 1K? I don't even know where that's at anymore. We want a banana, we want an apple, we want some other long fruit. So there's your banana pepper. Some other round fruit that we're gonna like a pear would be ideal for this. Something we use the screw modifier. Um, Strawberry would be great. An orange is so round, like we wouldn't need to use the screw. Like we would just start with a sphere. But throw an orange in if you feel so inclined. But yeah, strawberry's got enough form to it that that would count.
I would a four-dimensional type of fruit.
I don't know what you're saying to me right now. So we want to, did I say that? Banana, there we go. At least texture paint the apple and save the PNG like I did. I would recommend texture painting the banana because they're just that look and feel, probably for most fruit, a texture paint. But if you want to just throw colors or other textures on there, that's fine. Yes, we're requiring a pencil because I don't know. It was a, yeah. If you just need, sometimes the banana won't open and you got to jab it with a pencil to get in there. Yeah. The fruit bowl, which we did, some kind of tabletop and wall backdrop, some lighting, and then if there's, other things. I had one year. Let me see if I can find it. This kid went absolutely nuts, and so I'm gonna. This wasn't it.
Some crazy looking fruit.
Yeah, this fruit's totally messed up. Don't do that.
I use
This fruit tastes wonderful.
That's a spicy pepper.
too much.
Just outing him right here. He better have put this on his art station. He didn't put it on his art station. This kid sucks.
You gotta kill him.
Yeah. All right, he's out. He's probably across the hall right now. Wow, just man. Some men just want to watch the world burn. Maybe? Could it be that easy? No. All right, I'll find it. Yeah, maybe because I don't spell right. He did a whole like cornucopia looking thing. He had grapes with actual seeds inside. The grapes were semi-translucent. He went completely bonkers, and also turned it in way too late because he spent so much time going bonkers. So find the balance in your life.
Hold on.
That's the Spidey cube that we didn't use. I forgot where he went. Yeah, that's a different Spidey cube. That one's pretty awesome. Yes, you should be. Yeah, so in up here is it server orientation roles, role selection? Yeah, so pop up in here, we're the mouse, we're DET 220. If you just click on that, you should give yourself the role. Then you can see our class channel. I might not have covered that. So in the past, I was adding people and going through the laborious process of trying to figure out who Austin was today, figure out everyone's names. And so then I think Dr. Burton had just decided to make everyone sign up for their own roles. But then we end up with people. All right. Fill that up. Have fun. I don't remember what we're doing next week. Oh, I think we're doing spaceships next week. We might at some point come back and try to melt our laptops by simulating the physics of dropping the fruit into the bowl.
You're gonna start trying? You haven't been trying this whole time.
No, no. Oops. Okay, well, welcome. Yeah. I'm gonna have to check some of your credits first, but yeah, sounds like you're a senior. Add some more lights in than just the one light. Like let's try to multi-light this. Get a nice render out of it. That's what we're going for. So have fun with this assignment. Hopefully, we've balanced our diets by changing from donuts to fruit.